For this next lesson, we're going to look at location on the coordinate plane. So we're going to talk about the different quadrants as well as being able to write an ordered pair given a point on the coordinate plane. So first, talking about the quadrants. There are 4 quadrants. That's what quad stands for, is 4. And they go in counterclockwise direction. So we're starting in quadrant 1. This is the one where everything is positive. And we go in the reverse direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we write them using Roman numerals. What the reason for that is, if we look at these values, our values are positive going right here and positive going up. So every single thing in quadrant 1 is kind of your main one. We have a positive x value and a positive y value. Because as we go to the right on x, it's positive. As we go up, it's positive. Versus over here, as we go to the left, it's negative. Or as we go down, it is negative. So any ordered pair in quadrant 2, the x value that we write first is negative. Our y value that we write second is positive. Quadrant 3 is kind of the opposite of quadrant 1. Every single part of it is going to be negative. We have a negative x value and a negative y value. And then quadrant 4, as you go to the right, we have positive values. As you go down, it is negative. So let's kind of do both parts here. We're going to write the ordered pairs given a plot on a graph, and then we're going to identify where it is located. So I'm going to highlight just like we were doing for our previous lesson. So I'm going to take one highlighter color for my x-axis, and I'm going to highlight that the first number in all of my answers should be related to the x-axis there. And my values are positive going to the right, negative going to the left. I'm going to use my other highlighter color to represent the y-axis, going up and down, and I'm going to highlight the second number in my ordered pair should all be related to that value, where as we go up, it's positive, as we go down, it's negative. And then I'm going to label my quadrants. So this is quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Okay, so point A. So over here, we do the x value first, the blue value first. So I'm looking at where does it line up? It lines up at 3 for our x value. And our y value is 2. Because it's 3 to the right and 2 up. And what quadrant is this in? It's in this part right here, which is quadrant 1. Okay, for point B, when you start at the origin, we're going to the left, which is negative. It's at 2 to the left, which is at negative 2. And then it's up 1, 2, 3, so it's at positive 3 for the y value. What quadrant is this in? Quadrant 2. Point C. So over here, we're starting with our horizontal first. It's 2 to the right. So our x value is 2. And from here, we go down 1, 2. It's at negative 2. So it's positive 2, negative 2. 2 to the right, down 2. What quadrant does this fall in? That's in quadrant 4. Okay, for point D, starting at the origin, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, so it's at negative 4. And then 1, 2, 3 down, so it's negative 3. Negative 4, negative 3. What quadrant is this in? It's in quadrant 3. Okay, for E. Right here, first, we always go right or left first, based on the blue. This doesn't move anywhere from the origin, though. It doesn't go anywhere to the right, doesn't go anywhere to the left. So that means we moved 0 on the blue. It's at point 0 on the blue. Then from there, we've gone up to point 1, 2, 3, 4. Now here's the thing for the location, though. It looks like, oh, well, it's kind of in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2, but it's not in either because it's on this line, and this line is our y-axis. So it's on, oopsies, ignore that. It's on the y-axis. And then one more F. It's kind of hard to see there, but it's right where that blank spot is. So going to the right, it's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right. Then from there, it's on the line. We didn't go anywhere up or down, so it moved 0. Yes, it looks like it's in between quadrant 1 and quadrant 4, but it's on the actual line that is our x-axis. So now, a little bit easier to be able to pick where points are given actual values that show up. Now we're going to look at picking that based on numbers that aren't going to necessarily fit on the graph. So I'm going to highlight just like I did on the previous page. I've got my x value first, and I'm going to highlight the corresponding values here. So our first number is the x for all of these ordered pairs. And I'm remembering that my x value is positive as I go to the right, negative as I go to the left. I'm going to do the same thing for my y-axis, my vertical axis. My y is my second number in my ordered pair, so I'm going to highlight the second number in my ordered pairs here. For that y value, as we go up, it is positive. As we go down, it is negative. So, quadrant 1 is here, and we go counterclockwise. 2, 3, 4. So starting at the origin, if my x is negative, that means I'm going to the left. My y is positive, I'm going up. That would leave me in quadrant 2. Starting at the origin, my x value is positive, and if it helps you to write this, positive, positive. My x value is positive, so I'm going to the right. My y value is positive, so I'm going up. That leaves me in quadrant 1. For number 3, my x value is negative. My y value is negative. So starting at the origin, my x is negative. I'm going to negative is to the left. My y is negative, so that means I'm going down. That would leave me in this area, which is quadrant 3. Number 4, we have a positive for x, a negative for y. So starting at the origin, positive for x means we're going to the right. Negative for y means we're going down. That lands me in quadrant 4. Number 5, we have a negative for x, a positive for y. So negative x means we're going to the left. Positive y means we are going up. That lands us in quadrant 2. And last one, our x value is positive, our y value is negative. So x is positive, we go to the right. Y is negative, we go down. That is in quadrant 4.